starts now.
First at 5, breaking news. Tom Brady making a statement about his plans to fight the NFL 4-game suspension, just reinstated this week by a New York appeals court. The Pats QB just filed a request for an extension in the case.
He's also getting some high-profile help in his fight. 7's Susan Tran is live in the newsroom with these breaking details.
And Ryan and Kim, if you thought Tom Brady and the NFL Players Association was going down without a fight, well, you'd be mistaken. Brady and his team have filed for a 2-week extension to decide whether they want to appeal the decision and bring the case to the entire Second Circuit Court. Now, 3 judges heard the most recent appeal and voted 2-1 in favor of reinstating that 4-game suspension originally levied by Roger Goodell and the NFL. Now, if the extension is granted for the latest appeal, that decision would be made by May 23rd. The NFL Players Association is also hinting they may take this fight all the way to the Supreme Court, as the union also added a heavy hitter to its team of attorneys. Ted Olson will be joining the teams defending Tom Brady. Olson has argued before the Supreme Court 62 times in high-profile cases ranging from Bush v. Gore and California's same-sex marriage battle. Now, the Patriots fans out there, you might like these odds. He's won 75% of those cases. Olson has also represented the Players Association before. It was during the labor negotiations of 2011. Live in the newsroom, Susan Tran, 7 News.
Also breaking, protesters gathering outside the site of the California GOP convention. They're speaking out against Donald Trump, and the Republican frontrunner just spoke to supporters at a rally there. 7's Brandon Gano live here in the newsroom with those breaking details.
Well, Ryan, this was an intense protest. Protesters carrying Mexican flags and bandanas over their faces pushed their way through police in riot gear. And then when police would push back, they would simply go around the building to another entrance. Several hundred protesters rushing the doors at a state California GOP convention, throwing eggs at police and chanting anti-Trump slogans. Dozens broke through steel barricades surrounding the hotel. Police in riot gear had to use their batons to push protesters back. Trump, scheduled to speak at the hotel just outside San Francisco, avoided the protesters by going through a side or back entrance. You could see Secret Service agents had to escort him inside. Now, once the Donald started to speak inside, he poked fun at the protesters.
That was not the easiest entrance I've ever made. My wife called. She said, there are helicopters following you, and we did, and then we went under a fence and through a fence, and oh boy, I felt like I was crossing the border, actually. You know, it's true. It was one of the more tense protesting scenes we've seen at a Trump event. It did calm down, with people dancing and chanting, almost festive. They said, Mr. Trump, it would be really much easier, sir, if you just didn't speak today and just left and go back immediately to Indiana. And I said, you know, we can't let these people down, right? Do we agree? We can't do it. This all comes just a day after police arrested at least 20 people outside a Trump rally in Costa Mesa, California. A group of demonstrators attacked a police cruiser, and one man even jumped on top of it, smashing its back windows. Dozens at the rally were mostly peaceful as Trump gave his speech last night, but it got rowdy once the event ended. Today at the state convention, Trump stayed on message. The time has come to admit that Republican voters want Donald Trump as their nominee. You see that?
No word on arrest. It doesn't appear that anyone was hurt in today's protest. In the newsroom, Brandon Gano, 7 News.
More breaking news. This time, a shooting in Brockton. It's happening on Ash Street. The Brockton Enterprise reporting one man is injured, but witnesses on the scene say a woman and 5 children were in this pickup truck hit by a bullet moments before the actual shots were fired. None of the children were injured. We have a crew heading to the scene, and we'll bring you more information as we get it.
Also on 7, daycare danger. Terrifying moments in Billerica. An SUV plows into the side of a busy child care center, and a toddler gets pinned underneath that vehicle. Now the man who rescued the little boy is speaking out.
As we learn more about what may have caused that crash, 7's Steve Cooper live in Billerica with the very latest.
Ryan, the daycare center remains closed tonight. In fact, it's boarded up behind us here. It's been that way all day long. Meanwhile, that hero, well, he is talking about this harrowing ordeal when he runs into the daycare center and finds a toddler trapped under a car.
I just dropped right down to the ground and I saw him. Just started pushing everything out of the way that I could.
grabbed him by his shoulders and pulled him out.
Mike Madigan says it was like a scene out of a movie that left him leaping into action. Frantic moments as he scrambled to rescue a 22-month-old boy pinned under a car that plowed into this Billerica daycare center.
I can't really recall because I was full of adrenaline just moving along, but it was just like, he's under there, he's under there.
Right here, that's her. Yeah, she hit the mulch.
Just released surveillance video from a neighboring business captures the car veering off Boston Road through a mulch bed last night before the female driver barreled into a Brighter Rainbow Learning Center. Investigators believe she most likely suffered a medical emergency.
We have a car straight through the building, trying to find out if all the kids and teachers are out.
Madigan is a youth leader at the church across from the accident scene. But when he heard the crash as he was leaving his house, he knew he needed to help.
You feel like a hero? No. No, I think that I did what anyone would do when kids are in danger, you know?
Both the 1-year-old and the driver were hospitalized with injuries described by police as non-life-threatening. Madigan just knows someone was watching over the toddler who somehow wasn't seriously hurt here.
It was fortunate, you know, I think God protected him and kept him from being in a worse situation, and fortunately a lot of the other kids weren't in that path of destruction.
It's unclear when the daycare center will be able to reopen. The building inspector telling us today it's just not safe right now to reopen. Police, in the meantime, telling us late this afternoon that right now their investigation is ongoing, and so far no charges have been filed here against the driver. We're live in Billerica tonight. Steve Cooper, 7 News.
A wild ride on Sturo Drive this morning, ending with 2 arrests. A state trooper says it all started when he saw a white car that had been reported stolen earlier in the day. He immediately tried to pull the car over, but instead of stopping, the other driver tried to get away, hitting several cars in the process. That's when he and his passenger jumped out and ran into the Charles River. Police were eventually able to take them into custody. Both are 17 years old. One person whose car was hit was taken to the hospital with some minor injuries.
Also tonight, a school bus monitor facing alarming allegations. The employee is on paid leave right now after a young student accused him of getting too physical. The cell phone camera video capturing the incident. Let's go out to 7's Dan Housley in Dorchester. Dan, you have more of the video and the reaction to it.
Well, people are outraged when they see that video. School officials not the only ones investigating this. So Boston police are as well, and the Department of Children and Families. This family wants to know why the bus monitor handled a second grader this way, saying it's not the way an adult should act, much less a person in a position of authority.
Yeah, he's staying right there.
Parents are outraged after seeing this video of a school bus monitor's rough handling of an 8-year-old.
That's crazy. It's crazy. He has no right to put his hands on anybody's child.
The boy's sister pulled out her phone and taped the incident after the boy had complained before that the bus monitor had been bullying him. You can hear the bus monitor saying, "You're staying right there." And then, now what?
Now what? Now what?
He's 8. I mean, what could have warranted bullying by a bus monitor?
An attorney hired by the family says he knows of nothing the boy did to provoke the bus monitor.
This is a very small child. If the bus monitor was upset with him, I'm sure he could have spoken to him a little bit instead of striking him and throwing him around in the seat. I mean, there's nothing he could have done that would warrant that type of response.
School officials released a statement saying Boston Public Schools consider the safety and well-being of its students and staff a top priority. Staff at the Dever Elementary School notified the Department of Children and Families immediately upon learning of this incident. The bus attendant has been placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. The boy's mother is asking for answers.
She wants to know that when she puts her child on a bus, he's going to get home. He's going to get to school safely and home safely.
And that boy's not on the bus right now. His mother is driving him to and from school. The family's attorney says the boy suffered some bruises in the incident, but he is recovering. We're live in Dorchester. Dan Housley, 7 News.
7 News now turning to the forecast. Sunny skies outside right now, but some clouds could be moving through. Let's get a first check of your weekend forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Ryder. A lot going on this weekend, JR.
Yes, there is. Right now, Boston at 48, Bedford at 52, Fitchburg 60 degrees. Clouds trying to take over, but we have high pressure up in northern Maine like Big Brother, not allowing this little storm system to our west, Pennsylvania and New York, to pester us. So clouds will be on the increase, but no rain out of those clouds. Dry this evening, fine for the Sox game. Temps this evening in the 50s. Overnight tonight, upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Now, there's another area of low pressure in the southern plains, and this one has a little more oomph. And so that will be able to kind of dislodge high pressure from New England. And that does arrive for the second half of the weekend. So we get off to a great start. Fair amount of sunshine tomorrow, a few clouds around, 50s and 60s. Sunday, cloudy skies, rain arriving midday and through the afternoon, cool and raw. We'll talk more about the 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
New at 5, Governor Charlie Baker taking a stand against a Hollywood heavyweight. The governor speaking out about reports that funny man Will Ferrell planned to star in a comedy about President Ronald Reagan's battle with Alzheimer's disease. The governor saying Alzheimer's is no laughing matter. 7's Tim Caputo is live outside the State House to tell us more.
Yeah, Kim, Governor Charlie Baker joining the growing list of critics, including Ronald Reagan's own children, who are absolutely stunned and disappointed that Will Ferrell would even consider making a movie like this. Will Ferrell is well known for his comedic chops, but Governor Charlie Baker thinks the actor's latest venture is anything but funny. The governor and lots of critics are upset over Ferrell's decision to play former President Ronald Reagan in a movie. It's a comedy about a White House intern who must convince a dementia-stricken Reagan that he's an actor playing the president in a movie. Reagan died due to complications from Alzheimer's in 2004. Critics say the proposed movie makes light of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. For Governor Baker, this issue is personal.
I can't find the humor in anything associated with Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, my mom's been fighting it for 10 years, and my dad and she have been absolute champions in terms of the way they dealt with it.
There's late word today from the New York Post that Ferrell has backed out of the movie amidst all the controversy. The movie is still being shopped around, but Governor Baker hopes it never gets made.
There's a lot of Alzheimer's on my mother's side of the family. I'm fully expecting that it's going to be part of my future as well. And I just think there are certain things you shouldn't make fun of. And to anybody who's ever had to deal with this as a family or as a person, they deserve better than somebody cracking a few jokes about it.
Will Ferrell's rep sent out an email late this afternoon saying that the actor was looking into that Reagan movie, as he was with a lot of other films, but at this point he's no longer pursuing that project. We're live tonight in Boston. Tim Caputo, 7 News.
Coming up on 7 News, a hack attack on one of the NFL's biggest nights. He was supposed to be a top 3 pick, but after some photos and video got leaked online, an Ole Miss star took a surprising hit.
Then at 5:30, a man stabbed in Roxbury. He was targeted because of a big scratch ticket win.
And then in just 1 hour, a scooter scuffle, a Dorchester man demanding answers after he's attacked in his own driveway.
Plus, going above and beyond the call of duty, local police officers helping a little boy whose birthday got ruined by thieves.
And we are staying on top of breaking news this Friday afternoon. Tom Brady not giving up in the fight against his 4-game suspension, and he's added a new weapon in his team of attorneys, asking for an extension as he plans his next step. A college football star hit by a hack attack moments before the NFL draft. Laramie Tunsil was expected to be a top 5 pick.
But after the Ole Miss standout had some incriminating photos and conversations leaked online, he was sacked by several teams. Now he's facing some tough questions.
The Miami Dolphins select Laramie Tunsil.
But what started out as one of the most exciting nights of Laramie Tunsil's life ended in confusion and controversy.
Man, somebody hacked my account. Man, you know, I made that mistake, several years ago, and somehow somebody got in my photos and hacked my Twitter account.
That hack attack showing Tunsil smoking an illegal substance from a gas mask. The video posted to his verified Twitter account and then quickly deleted, but it wasn't just Twitter.
And apparently somebody just hacked my Instagram account, so man, it's getting crazy.
These photos posted on Tunsil's Instagram account. They're an apparent conversation between the Ole Miss star and his coach, where Tunsil asked for money to pay his mother's electricity bill.
Like I said, I made a mistake of that happening, and it happened.
Those images were posted moments before the start of the draft. The college star hit with tough questions after finally being selected.
Was there an exchange between you and your coach for money?
I have to say, yeah.
Tunsil, who was projected to be a top 5 pick, slid to 13th and was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Despite the controversy, he's looking forward to his future.
Man, you can't trust everybody. Like I said, I don't know who did it. I don't know what happened. But like I said, I'm blessed.
The University of Mississippi released a statement saying it is aware of the reports. The comments could lead to an NCAA investigation.
Up next, it's a delivery dilemma when an heirloom shows up broken. Woman doesn't get the answer she needs, so she calls Solve at 7.
Sunshine for tomorrow, rain for Sunday. Forecast up next.
Then at 5:30, a case of road rage in Florida takes a dangerous turn. A man holding on for dear life. Look at this. The whole thing caught on camera.
Not the now at 7, the headlines for 7? Okay. I didn't love that radio thing. I wish I could do that again, too. Can I just keep going? I probably could. Okay, so package. I took a walk today, and I've got this tree pollen. I got this dry. I just have such a big dry patch.